Hello. We've all interacted with the healthcare industry before. The process is simple for the patient. You go to a primary care physician and he asks you what's wrong. And depending on the issue, he will either write you a prescription or send you to a specialist. If you see a specialist, he will check you up and perform whatever operations he needs. And if you need to get a prescription, you go to the pharmacy to pick it up. This looks simple on the front, but behind the scenes is a complex web of bureaucratic largesse charging you every step along the way. For behind every single one of these transactions lies a health insurance agency that acts as the boogeyman but behind the entire healthcare industry. Health insurance is the cornerstone of the entire health industry, writing checks to doctors to cover their costs and to pharmaceutical companies for the drugs they make for their patients. The system was originally cost effective, charging people pennies a month for high standards of coverage according to academic health plans. But as it grew in size and scope, funded in part by employers and the government, the insurance companies became effective oligopolies. Now they are denying coverage where they see fit, charging patients large sums of money, and making doctors and pharmacies slaves to their will. I'll discuss what's wrong with the healthcare that we receive today, how we got to this point, and the solution that we can use to fix it. To begin this problem, we must begin with its history. Before insurance, people would pay out of pocket to the doctors for the care that they received. However, during the Depression, nobody had any money to pay the doctors. According to cost coverage, in order so that doctors could stay afloat, insurance companies were made. Because insurance companies offered the same care but at a lower cost, they took off. People enjoyed the luxury of paying a small monthly fee for the same quality of care instead of paying a full out-of-pocket sum. But this all changed, however, with the enactment of the Medicare and Medicaid Act and a subsequent expansion in the form of the Affordable Health Care Act. These two measures enfranchised into law the insurance-based model of care. No longer would the patient be paying out of pocket, rather the insurance company would be making all the payments. This created a unique conundrum, whereby the government was actively propping up and subsidizing health insurance agencies, granting them an effective cocoon of immunity from outside competitors. Because of this corrupt bargain, we have the problems that we face today. The first problem with health insurance is that it costs too much. The average amount spent on health insurance yearly, according to the Kaiser Family Foundation, for a single payer is $7,739 and $22,221 for family insurance, for family coverage. While some are paid by the employer, most are taken out of people's paychecks. This isn't taking into account copays or premiums. These costs are huge, but they are not surprising due to the large swath of government regulation costs. According to the Heritage Foundation, Obamacare has more than doubled the health insurance costs for workers and families, with the national average increasing by 129% from 2013 to 2019. Additionally, surgeries have also seen an increase in costs too. According to the NIH, outpatient out-of-pocket expenses has seen a drastic increase in total payments of 29% and an increase of 53% in faculty fees. But medicine has also seen an increase too, in some part by pharmaceutical companies, but mainly by insurance companies who pay them. A famous example is the price of insulin, which has seen a drastic price increase. According to Eli Lilly, the price of insulin has increased by 70% for the same vial of insulin. What is worse is that insurance companies may also engage in retroactive denials, where they may deny coverage for treatments that have already been provided, leaving patients with unexpected medical bills and financial hardships. In short, insurance costs too much in the long run than in the short run. The second problem with insurance is its lack of quality. Doctors don't have the time they used to screen a patient. With the insurance model, the way doctors get paid is through reimbursements. These reimbursements vary between each procedure, but they are notoriously low. In order for doctors to cover their costs, they have to see as many patients as possible. This is why, according to staff care, doctors can spend on average about 8 minutes per patient before moving on to the next. It's this kind of situation that makes it hard for doctors to do their job. If they go above and beyond, insurance companies won't pay for the services and may even sue the doctor for increasing the price of care. Because the incentive is reimbursements and not care, there is an incentive to do unnecessary services for money. According to a report from the National Academy of Medicine, found that the fee-for-service payment system used by many insurers incentivizes providers to deliver more services rather than focusing on quality, leading to inefficient and fragmented care. But that's not all. The health insurance model is an obstructionist mindset, preventing progress to earn more profits. This point is furthered by a survey from the American Medical Association, whereby they found out that nearly 75% of physicians reported that prior authorization requirements from insurance companies have led to delays in patient care, with over 90% saying that the process has a negative impact on clinical outcome. In short, the system is a mess and has produced bad results for everyone involved. So what's the solution? The solution is cash-based model. And to understand why all of this is happening, we need to look at the incentive structure. With insurance, the incentive for doctors is to do what the insurance companies want them to do and not what's best for the patient. If the doctors want to get paid, they have to do what the insurance companies want, or else they won't get the reimbursements. With the cash-based model, however, the doctors are not subject to the insurance, rather through the patient's will. The doctors can perform the operations they need without worrying about insurance companies coming down on them. There are some companies that have taken this model and made it their primary business. These companies include Waste to Well and Mark Cuban's Cost Plus Pharmacy. According to the website, Waste to Well is a Houston-based health clinical website and company that switched from the insurance model to the cash-based model. Since then, they advertise that their prices have dramatically decreased, and they could spend on average 75 minutes a patient. Cost Plus Pharmacy is also seeing similar results. It's an online pharmacy offering generic drugs for cheap. Their website offers transparency and exactly how much drugs cost and where all the money goes. A notorious downside of insurance, though, is the fact that they are very lackadaisical with where the costs come from. They tend to hide how much their cost is because they institute gag orders on all their doctors. But there is also a downside to this model, to the cash-based model, which is short-term loss. In the immediate sense, you have to pay a slightly larger out-of-pocket sum than if you were on insurance. But if insurance were gone, the money you would be saving yearly would more than cover your yearly medical costs. So in conclusion, insurance has become an enemy of healthcare, and this has been demonstrated by the high cost and the lack of care generally. If we are to make healthcare more accessible and more affordable to the common man, we need to diverge away from health insurance and towards a cash-based model. Thank you.